tunaleta swag kwa street. Yeah, si ndo wale mabeast. Kwenye giza it's a night show, kwenye giza it's a light show. Flashy, si ukam na mamato. To any place though, classic. Mat game on flick though, in a explode. Massive, the things that we're doing, the moves that we're moving, they just salute it, dabbing. Pull up and hop at the Phantom. Pull up and hop at the BVB. Pull up and hop at the Smurf. Pull up and hop at the BB. Pull up and hop at the Phantom. Pull up and hop at the BVB. Pull up and hop at the Smurf. Pull up and hop at the Smurf. Swag straight through the ceiling. Matarongani see. Swag straight through the ceiling. Matarongani see. Matarongani see. Matarongani see. 125 to the city. 126 to the city. Na boka na orokise na hope and rejoice.
Hii track inaenda kwa wazi wote wa ma3, dere wa ma3, konda wa ma3, pia kama unapanda ma3, necessary noise.
Boy, 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 that Kenyan boy make me heart skip a bit like boy. The way he move on the dance floor, boy. He a original Kenyan boy.
Yo, Y-Rate, the love child, Nazizi, the first lady, we make it hot. You know, we make it hot.
Kenyan girl, won't you come take a walk with me? Namtaka Charlie wa Nairobi. Kenyan boy, won't you come take a walk with me? Namtaka Mazi wa Nairobi. Kenyan girl, won't you come take a walk with me? Namtaka Charlie wa Nairobi. Kenyan boy, won't you come take a walk with me? Oh, tunataka Mazi wa Nairobi.
Nilikutana na yeye nikipanda 23 kwenye bus stop akinicheki secretly. Jamaa was so fly, yo karibu mini bleki, akapanda ma3 karibu na mikaketi. Immediately sikungoja siku sleki, nikajidai excuse me unafeki. Got his attention, sasa power mambo deadly. Ni aje Charlie, vipi unaitwa nani? Mimi naitwa Naz na Burundio mtaani. Where you going to? Unashuka upande gani? And if you don't mind, twende round mtaani. I like the way you smell, hiyo ni umenibamba style nyingine deadly yani. Unapenda reggae, nina collection nyumbani. Kuja kika lift hapa njiani. Pop some of that tuongee mambo flani.
Thank you. Okay, let's switch on cameras, everyone. So Miles, you're there? Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. So welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. It's a pretty good day here in America, but we won't get into that just yet. So fellas, just be patient because there's a few things we have to do before we can start sort of moving towards the artist talk. So we're probably going to need 5 or 10 minutes, but keep your cameras on, keep your mics on, and just be around. For everyone else, so Miles, the first thing is we don't only want to solve where the links are for today. Well, the stage managers need to know where they can find them apart from you. So whatever we work out today has to be for the stage, for the artist talks in general. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm saying the links for the live stream, etc., Padlet, all that stuff, we need to have it in a place where the stage managers can get it themselves rather than necessarily relying on you to put it in, unless it's you put the link somewhere the night before and they know where that is and they can get them. So it's definitely, go ahead.
Yes, there's a document, there's a Google document. I'll try to find the link right now.
Okay, so I'm just going to reiterate, just so that we're all on the same page. The links will be in the stage manager's document. Are the links going to be different for each artist talk, Miles, or are they going to be exactly the same? They'll be different. So so can you put the links the night before each artist talk so that they're there when we show up in the morning? Okay, so stage managers, did you understand anything what was just said? If you did, it's great. I don't need to understand it. You guys need to understand it.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, it all made sense. Other stage managers?
Yes, it made sense.
Lisa? Okay, good. And then the other thing is, so the playlist is already in the stage manager's doc as it is. It's not labeled the way it could be or should be, but it's there. Is that correct? Stephanie?
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry, Michael. What was the question?
I said the playlist. It's in the stage manager's document. We haven't got
Hold
them
on,
labeled.
hold on. That's the place where the link should go. It's not there right now. Ray,
talking
you
about
said it
the-
was in there. I don't see it right now.
I'm talking about the playlist.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, it's not there right now. Is that where it should go?
Yeah, I think everything should go in this document. I'm posting the link right now.
And who puts the
It's in
playlist?
the, I mean, you know, there's been several Google Docs, so it's possible I'm in the wrong thing, but I see 2 links. There's a link under content links 5, number 5 is playlist. And then I've also put it under the production manager, production assistant.
I see. There's a hot link there. I got it. I see it now.
And who's going to be responsible?
But those links change. So
Who's going to be responsible for making sure those links are in that document?
The Miles live stream links,
No, the playlist.
it is in the document.
I know
And
it's there now, but I'm saying who's going to be responsible for it in the future?
It's not, that's not going to change because the link goes to all the different playlists.
Is that again? I'm not, you have to tell me that's correct. It's correct. Great, Yvonne.
That's correct.
It's correct. For, so everyone knows where to find it and how to find it. That's all. Thank you. I just want to make sure that when we come, that the same managers have the power to do what they need to do. Okay, good. So that's the first thing. So let's take another. Oh shit. We're going to start the going through the checklist, Mari. Okay, so you're ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Okay.
Again, I'm going to jump in. If we are off by something or something it's not clear, I'm going to jump in and we're going to try and correct it as we go along rather than me waiting to the end. So don't be offended.
Okay, sure. Hi, all. So all of the Lit from the Black fellows have created a checklist just so we can go through an hour before the actual artist talk. So this is also the steps we'll be following when on the day of each artist talk. I'm going to go ahead and go through it. So we have the correct live stream links, and they are.
Miles, your mic is on. Go ahead, Mari.
So we have both our Facebook and we have our YouTube link. So these are the live streams that you can follow and that our production assistant Ray will follow. We've created so we have the lineup order and the order that will be going the day of our show for the 22nd. Gonna paste that up now. So for questions, introductions, if we can follow this order, that'll be great for our MC. And then your name first and then artist.
Is this for the people like the other Lit from the Black folks too, who are not like say stage manager or production for this particular one? Should they change your name to, I don't know, Lit from the Black or something?
Perhaps if they're not on today, because we're going to be looking at those titles in
Yeah,
terms of work that needs to be done.
yeah.
So, but you're working today, right?
Yes, I just clarifying. So I'll go through and message people because yeah, it's going to be kind of hard if it's just like everybody's got to change it to something because.
Right. Well, you can just put Lit in front of your name because you're not on today. That's Lisa and the Queen today. So we don't want to confuse people about where they need to go and who's working today.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just write Lit Fellow in front of it, Ray.
Okay, so now let's do a roll call for November 22nd to make sure all our peeps are here, and then reach out to those who aren't. So for MC, we have Lauren and Damani. Host, we have, is it Pawai and Nzinga? For the artist talk, we have Tango, Caroline, David, Malda Adi. Is it
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Bacchanal d'Afrique Artist Talk today. My name is Lauren Bacchus. I am going to be one of your MCs today. I am East Coast based, and we have Damani on the West Coast. Damani, you there?
Yeah. Thank you,
Hey.
Lauren. Damani, coming to you from the West Coast, Best Coast, East Oakland.
Hey.
Yeah. Excited to be here.
It's great to see you. It's great to see your background. It's an interesting day for us, huh?
To say the least, Lauren.
But we're here, and we're not just representing our coast, we're representing global, worldwide, African artistry, creativity, music, sound, dance. Man, I'm excited to be part of this because we are both MCs, but also artists, right?
Yes. And we have the honor of letting y'all know about the other artists that we've had the time to work with the past few weeks, the past few months. So in case y'all didn't know, this festival, when Lauren says all over the world, like literally, this festival, we are joined by international artists from the continent, from the Caribbean, and again, the US. Yeah, and all kinds of disciplines.
Yeah, and we're going to be meeting some of them today, and where you're from, we're also interested in. So please interact with us, talk with us. We have a Padlet up where you can see images. We have Facebook, YouTube, where you can type in responses or questions, anything that you want to know from our amazing artists that we have up today. So let's start it up. Let's see. Did we finish? Let's start up. Can we start hearing from our artists? We have first up, Tango. Why don't you introduce yourself?
People, you don't know already, live and direct. It's the boy Tango Leaders, vibes architect, Jamaican American, choreographer, creative, vibes, and more vibes. That's all you're gonna get is vibes and more vibes till you're sick of vibes. Because I'm gonna give you vibes and then a side of vibes on top of the extra large vibes that you ordered earlier. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
Wow, you said
Can we
supersize
start with
the
vibes?
vibes.
We can start with vibes, and then we're gonna get into the main course of vibes.
You already know what's up. You already know. Make sure you leave space for the vibes.
Very cool. Tango, what's your artistic expression? Tell the people what you do. Where you at?
I'm a choreographer, creative.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so y'all can check out my choreography, check out my creativity, and check out my OnlyFans.
Niajuase. I'm Caroline Gorobi from Mombasa, Kenya, the coastal side of Kenya. I go by the pronouns she, her. I am a theater producer. Theater is my language. I'm made of mountain resilience and the coastal warmth. So I bring you sunshine.
Ooh, we take it. Thank you, Caroline.
What's up? My name is Mal the Oddity, live from Brooklyn. I'm a musician, a songwriter, a video artist, and a storyteller. Yeah.
Hey everybody, my name is Ajakuma. I'm also coming at you from New York. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a singer, songwriter, and overall artist, and I'm excited to be here. Oh, and I'm made of fun, strength from the Ashanti tribe, and a dash of extraness, if you know me.
Just a dash.
Just a pinch.
All right.
Love it.
David Van Races usually says that I'm going to kind of carry to Gamba. She her born and raised in Zimbabwe, representing all the females in my family.
And I'm Nikki Brown. I go by she and they pronouns. I am a mixture of earth, sun, and water from my grandmother, Queen Victoria Brown. And I'm representing the south of Mississippi, Greenville, Mississippi, as well as Oakland, California.
Hey, Niajawase. My name is Magachi Mausa. I go by the pronouns he, him. I'm a visual artist from Nairobi, Kenya. I could say I'm made of fun, enjoyment, a bit of experiences from Nairobi. Yes, that's a little bit about me.
Beautiful. Thank you, Magati.
Thanks.
My people, how far? How on a day? My name is David Snipes, but you can call me Snipes. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. I'm a dance choreographer. I'm basically made of black. I'm Nigerian. I'm Igbo. I'm Wazobian. I'm everything Africa. I like to have fun. I like to spread joy wherever I go to. So if you are listening to me now, I'm sure you are smiling. I can see you smiling. I know you are smiling. Yes, smile. Yeah, that's it. I can see you smiling. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I go by pronouns he or him, and I'm just here to spread love.
Thank you
Beautiful.
for that. Okay, I think we're gonna hop into this first question. Uh, Everyone who's watching on the live streams, if you have questions, make sure you put them in the chat, and our wonderful hosts will, relay them to us. Actually, can we get our host to do a quick introduction too? PYE, present.
She's talking, but she's on mute.
Hello, everyone. PY here, coming to you from Richmond, Zaire, Zimbabwe. If you have questions, please drop them in here, and we'll be baking them in for you.
Sweet. Thank you. Okay, artists. So the first question I want to ask y'all, how did your journey as a creative begin and where are you going? You can take that whichever way you want it. Yeah. Tongo, let them know.
Yeah, my creative journey, that's a good question, sir. My creative journey started as soon as I was born. As soon as I was born, I was creative. I was creating. You feel what I'm saying? Music hit me. Music was hitting me all through my life from young till now. And every time I hear music, I was just always like, the music made me do something. It made me react. So I was creating from soon as I heard my mother's heartbeat in her womb. I was dancing. I was like, oh, okay, that heartbeat going. Let's go. Let's get it. Yay, 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 yay. That's it.
Word.
And where do you see yourself going, Tango? I mean, you're moving. Where are you going?
I'm going wherever the vibe takes me, my dear.
Love it.
You know, vibes take you everywhere. So I'm going everywhere, anywhere, and everywhere. That's where I'm going.
Very cool. And Damani, we forgot to mention the whole theme of this festival is transportation and travel and moving, where we've been, where we going. And transportation can be as easy as moving around our house where we are, most of us today. But we'd love to hear from you. Like what modes of transportation do y'all take today, tomorrow? What's your favorite mode of transportation? Yeah, let's talk about it. Caroline, next question for you. What's your, how did your creative journey begin and where are you going?
Wow. At least I remember writing stories. Well, I think as far as I can remember, I've been writing stories. Professionally, I joined theater as an actor about 15 years ago. And that's where I found my place. I found my safe space there. So this is where I am.
What's yeah, Carolyn, what's your do you have a favorite part of theater? Because earlier you mentioned you have like a few skills on your plate. Do you have a favorite?
Okay, I love poetry, but I have slowly moved to performing more movement. I think I use movement more. That speaks, especially for the kind of art that I do now. I agitate a lot with my art and just speak a lot about things that I don't feel are right. So I've been fusing poetry with movement quite a bit lately.
All right, thank you.
So that's a good question. My earliest memory, I grew up in a very musical household. My dad would always be playing music on these huge speakers in the living room. And so my earliest memories of being creative as far as music is, I would take books of different sizes and arrange them around myself like a drum set and just play along with like the Michael Jackson or like Nirvana records he would be playing, and try to mimic them. And that eventually turned to me, sorry, there's a lot of noise. They're celebrating. That would eventually turn into me producing and then, you know, writing my own songs, often like on the train, on the way to school, to now, you know, where I'm a performing artist. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you play any instruments now?
Yeah,
Or do you have an instrument that you would love to play?
I play guitar. I play guitar mostly for songwriting, not as much for performance. I like to say the instrument I play is the computer. You know, I love synthesizers, I love drum machines and like programming, and that's really like my instrument. If I had to choose one thing to like, you know what I mean? That's what I would say. But classically, like, you know, or in the classical sense, I play guitar, you could say. Yeah.
Ooh, all right. Are you playing guitar for this particular piece?
No, there's no guitar on this. There's some keys, but no guitar.
We'll have to find out more about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So my I guess journey started when I was young. My eldest sister played the violin in school, and my parents always played a lot of Ghanaian music, a lot of like African gospel music, and at church music was just like a really really huge thing. And a lot of that came, and a lot of my development came from like educational institutions like elementary school, middle school, high school, college, like just trying to use any available resources to practice my craft, which was like singing. And just throughout that journey, I've been able to tap into different resources that have allowed me to extend my creativity to like songwriting and vocal production. So my journey started when I was pretty young. I first wanted to be a fashion designer because I loved the show That's So Raven, and Raven was just she's my spirit animal.
Yes.
And yes, and in my family, I'm kind of like I have four other siblings, and I was just always the one that was pretty like I'm a star, like I'm a diva. So I always had to channel that somewhere. So first it was fashion, but then it kind of just evolved into music and performance and all that.
When was the first time you sang in public, if you remember?
Um, Probably like when I was in elementary school, like maybe it's like some solos here and there. Like my parents would, every Christmas, my parents would be like, "Oh, like sing Silent Night for the family." And I at the time I would be like nervous. Like I was never like that girl that was like shy. But when it came to singing, for some reason, I'd be shy just because like, you know, like when you're a kid, you like to do something, you don't want anyone to tell you you suck. So, probably when I was like in elementary school.
Well, you definitely don't suck. I do remember that one of our group sessions, you busted out this like impromptu song that you wrote. So you definitely do not suck. And for someone who I think we had like 5 minutes to come up with a song. I mean, that was amazing. So
little jingle.
yeah. Who's up next? Grab through. Yeah. Let's hear from you.
So for my artist journey, like many of us, it started very young. Just listening to the music that was played around my house from my mother. And also I spent a lot of time as a young child in the skating rink with her. And so she took me to a lot of skating rinks. And so there was a lot of dancing on skates and a lot of competitions and things that we used to do at the skating rink. We spent like pretty much all day, sometimes all night, late nights there. But those were some of my childhood memories of being creative as a young child.
Okay, I guess I'll go. I always say I started dancing when I was in my mom's belly because she would perform when she was pregnant with me. So I'm just like, hey man, I started dancing then. But me tapping into me being a dancer was during these ceremonies. My family used to have, we call them vidas. They're like all night ceremonies that happen for 7 days, and people are dancing 7 days straight, like dancing and singing, drumming. And me and my cousin would just watch our older cousins and our moms dance. And we were like, we gotta practice that because at the next vida, we gotta know those moves. And then I moved to America. That's when I actually really became an artist because I got exposed to so many different styles of African dance. I grew up doing Zimbabwean traditional dance and Congolese dances. But when I came out here, I was like, oh my God, there's like more things I can explore and learn and teach other people. So yeah, now I'm just dancing all over the place, which is great.
What did it take for you to finally, because I think that it takes us a while sometimes to call ourselves artists, you know, especially when we have these creative expressions that feel very much like, again, we were born with it, we do this is what we do. So what did it take for you to call yourself an artist?
I think when they started paying me, when I started getting paid, and because yeah, I was like, oh my God, I actually pay rent based on the money that I'm making as a teaching artist in schools and as a performer, then I am an artist. Yeah, it really took me a while to be like, I'm a dancer, I am a teaching artist, I am this artist. But once they started giving me the money that's kind of worth what I do, I was like, okay, I am an artist.
It's wild though,
Yeah,
right?
I think
We're sold
it is wild. It is
for love,
wild.
but it's like, no, we gotta eat and we're professionals, you know? Oh,
Yeah,
all
I
right.
think that's similar for me. It was the same. It was like, oh, okay, well, until I got that check, that was like, oh, okay, now official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel for me, my journey or my first exploring art for me started when I was quite young. I remember in primary school, if I could date back, in primary school, I used to tend to doodle a lot in either my exercise books when the teacher was teaching. And I felt like that really helped me improve myself because from then on, I eventually studied art and graphic design. That has really helped me gauge my work till this day, where I can now be able to venture into photography and digital forms of art. That really helped me try and move my perspective into what I really want to do in future. At the moment, what I'm exploring, my journey is leading me to try different forms of art, which are in a bit of film and also in a bit of performance art. And I feel like that's a really good opportunity for me to express myself in different forms and also adding digital archives for the next generation.
If
Whoa.
if you could describe your artwork or your drawings in like 5 words, what would those be?
A lot of line work. Lines, expression, emotion, a lot of typography, and eyes. I tend to like weird sense. It's what really I enjoy doing.
Word.
Money.
Oh, sorry, Lauren.
But I love that question.
Yeah, I've been in a few breakout rooms with my Gati, and so I always enjoy what they have to say, but I've never gotten to see their art. So I'm like I hope the rest of the audience is excited to see the piece they presented for this festival. But yeah, so thank you,
and
Bagati.
we see each other's bits and pieces too. I mean, I've seen Snipes. I've seen a little bit of your work, but I'm looking forward to seeing the final product. Can you tell us a little bit more about your creative journey?
Okay. For as long as I can remember, I have always been dancing. I've always been acting. I was I was always dancing at parties. I was always dancing in school. I was always acting in school. I actually wanted to be an actor. That was my first career choice. I wanted to be an actor, but I think everything changed when I got into the university. I still had the intention of being an actor while in school, but then I started dancing like every time. I started dancing often in the university. I used to dance at shows, at school parties, and then it was really big because everybody was always shouting and screaming, "Snipes, snipes, snipes, snipes," and it was really cool. So at that point, I said, okay, I think I'm really good at this dancing stuff. Let me just try it. And then I studied theater arts, so I was always going for I had dance courses, and then when I got to my year 3, year 4, I had to pick a major, and I majored in dance. So it was then that my journey concerning dance started. I had I had a mentor kinda. He was a senior in school, and he could dance so well. Like, he was really, really good with his body. And I was like, I want to be like this guy. I want to dance like this guy. In fact, I want to dance better than this guy. And so I just picked it up from there. 2015, I left the university. I actually left school early because I went for a competition. I left my final project and went for a competition. And that was like my breakout into the dance industry here in Nigeria. And that was how my career as a dancer started. That was the point I decided, okay, I'm going to take this thing up as a career. I'm going to take it up as a profession. And yeah, I've been dancing since then. Basically. Yeah.
Wow.
All
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
Well, this is great, guys. We have a few questions from the chat. So what have been some of the growing moments of your artistic journey? And this is for Caroline.
One, I think that for me, the turning point was when I really decided that I left a really well-paying job to just do theater. And it was after a performance we did just around a time when we had political violence in the country. And we went around the country doing some performances, just pushing for social justice and all that. And I saw the impact of just taking theater to the people and using theater as that transformative tool. That, I think that was one of the highlights of my career, and that was just it. That's when I decided I will do this, and yeah.
Like an all-in moment, huh?
Yes. After that, I've been full-time theater artist.
That's beautiful. Thank you. We love these questions. Please keep bringing these questions in. Damani, I have a question for you.
Yes. Ask.
What does
Ask away.
Soon Come mean to you? It's our theme for the festival, and I want to know what it means to you.
Wow. Yes. Great question. So when I think of Me Soon Come and what all like Bacchanal de Afrique has come to mean to me from like working with everyone, it definitely means like I'm on my way. It means like I'm on my way, and there are things that I'm on my way, and there are things that will come my way. So I guess like coming into abundance maybe, or going out of my, or I'm going to abundance. Things are coming.
I love that. And so audience, we want to know, what does it mean for you? Please, keep talking to PYE. Let her know what you think Me Soon Come means for you. Is it a lie? We say we soon come, but are we actually on our way? But I believe you, Damani, like we have big things coming to us and big futures coming to us. And we have a bit of a group project that deals with imagining, right?
Yes, yes. Thank you for that segue. Hello, professional. So for those of you in the chat, your project as well as the artist. So Lauren mentioned a Padlet earlier. Our group project is going to be to design a Black city of the future. Okay, so that can be as broad as you want. So maybe it looks like Wakanda. Who knows, right? It could look like Philadelphia right now, or it could be as simple. It could be as simple as like there's gonna be an ice cream truck, but like a dope ice cream truck. So take that as literally, as like metaphysically as you want. But if you have pictures of this city, please put it in the Padlet. We want to see your work as well. But I'm gonna turn this question over to the artists of today. So, what would be in your Black city of the future?
Well, whilst everybody is actually, figuring out the link on the Padlet, what will be your Black city in the future? We also have a question from Stephanie Johnson, who says that what are the modes of transportation that you use and how does this inform your work? And I guess we'll just take a quick answer from any of the artists on the panel.
I guess this is Ajakumi here. For me, my main mode of transportation is usually driving and being the driver. And I think that that informs my art just because it's metaphorical in a way. Like I like to be in control. Short story. I went hiking 2 days with my friends and it was my first time ever being on a hike. Don't make fun of me. And while we were walking back, like I started like having a panic attack because like I was so dehydrated and like we were in the middle of nowhere and I didn't have there's no cell service and I was freaking out. Like I was like, oh God, like I'm gonna die out here. I was just going crazy. But it made me think that same idea of like not being in control. Like it follows me in different aspects of my life. So I think I think when I think about that, it kind of just informs what kind of like songs I write or what kind of what kind of music I'm trying to make that day. Like just always the idea of like being in control. Like what do I want to do? Like where do I want to go next with this song? What is this song gonna do for me? I guess.
Ooh, at Jacoma, I love that in terms of just the control, but also sometimes in the creative process, letting go of control,
Very difficult. Very difficult.
Do you imagine us driving in the future? Like how would we get around?
Ooh, it'll probably be some kind of like not telepathy, but those like immediate transportation things where it's like you just snap your fingers and go. And I don't even like that idea for me personally because what is taking me there? If it's not me taking me there, what is taking me there? That is just
What
too
is
much.
taking you there? What would it be powered by? Like, and that was one of the great exercises that we had, right? Like, what would that be powered by?
Yeah. For me, it would probably be like God, like something I can just totally 100% trust in.
Deep. Wow.
Any other artists? Any ideas about creating this Black space of the future? What would it look like for you, transportation-wise, food-wise? I want a food cart for every place I've ever been, just available.
Yeah. Wow. The city has to be colorful. I mean, it's a Black city, so there's lots of color there, pomp and glam, and drums. I just totally love drums. I want those drum beats in that city, so we're not leaving that behind.
There's got to be music, yeah. Building off that, like, it's got to feel alive, like it has to have that energy. Maybe not everywhere, there could be some quiet places too, but like definitely a place where you can go and just feel free to dance and like meet people and enjoy the atmosphere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just realized we have a bunch of like musically movement talented folks. They could probably make a soundtrack for the city. It'd be interesting.
Ooh. We do. We got all kinds of musical instruments, and again, as you mentioned, movement, which we gotta have a city that moves, man.
Yeah,
While
Lauren,
the chat room is popping, so somebody's saying that there needs to be street food on the Black City in the future. So, anybody have anything to say about that? So yeah, keep the chat popping, guys. Thank you. Shout out to the audience.
And we gotta feed our bodies. We gotta feed our bodies. It's beautiful. Artists, let's keep creating. Space of this future. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? Sound like?
Yeah, our leaders have to be young and vibrant. Hey, in Africa, I mean, coming from an African perspective, our leaders are so old and yeah, not letting go of the seat. So vibrant leadership.
It's gonna be a place full of some beautiful people because they're all gonna be melanated. You dig what I'm saying? So everybody gonna look good as hell. I know that. That alone, I want to be up in that city. You dig what I'm saying? Do y'all feel me? Okay.
It'd be cool to like have it sort of, I don't have an idea for the specific, biome or natural setting it has to be in, but it'd be cool if it kind of worked within that setting and didn't destroy it, but rather just worked with it and embodied all the natural beauty in whatever part of the earth it's in.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say something. I know we mentioned a lot during like our group activities, like something sustainable. So something we could kind of like recycle, reuse, so we don't have to depend too much on outside resources. We can kind of always just take from what we have, put it back in there, take what we have and put it back in.
Sustainable future, man. Sustainable future.
Yeah.
Good music.
On those last two comments, how important is, I guess, self-sustainability and like agriculture to like a city surviving? That was a big question.
Good question.
So I was just gonna jump in there. Kind of, I mean, to me, like when I think of like when I go visit my family in Ghana and like how they do things, like it's like very self-sufficient. Like they don't go out to restaurants, at least my family specifically. They don't go out to restaurants for like already prepared meals. It's like the only time they're really going out to buy things is if they're buying like a goat or like actual vegetables or like really small things to create themselves. And I think ideally they would love the ideal situation would be for them to kind of have their own farm, their own area to grow their own vegetables and fruits and all that stuff. But obviously, like resources are limited. So it's like when I see that and kind of how we are here in America, like we all love to go to restaurants and have like meals prepared for us. Um, it makes me appreciate growing your own stuff. I've never tried it before. My mom's trying to, grow her garden. It hasn't been working out too much, but it definitely makes me want to try it more because I see the benefit. I think now more than ever we see that we can't and we shouldn't always rely on the people that are supposed to help us. Wink, wink.
Word.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Snipes, for you, any ideas about a Black futures city? Magati.
Yeah,
I know.
I think for me, thank you for the question, Corinne. A bit for me would be in regards to trying to, I could chime from what has been talked about, the need to reuse and recycle. Probably working with something like, solar systems are really important because if we give back, if we can be in our best to give back to Mother Nature by not exposing it, like, or in a sense, not exposing the whole essence of our environment, we could be the best people to contribute to it, in a positive way. So I feel like if we get good resources like solar panels in cases of movement, that would be really interesting to work with for our transportation and our purposes in life. That's my city.
Well, that's a great picture right there. So I have a pressing question in the chat coming from Brian Emery. He says that to the artists who started practicing their creative journeys while young, were their folks supportive? Did they have a shift in journeys and then find their way back? So I'm going to pose this question whilst you're, conjuring up your, the Black City of the future. I'm going to pose this question to Tango leaders, Boydie Town Radio folks, and David Snipes. Go for it.
Yes, people in the chat, big up on yourself. That was a good question. Yes, I'm blessed enough to have some wonderful supporting parents, and family. So, even though I started this journey computer tripping. Even though I started the journey super young, my family have always, encouraged me. They've always been there to, give me words of encouragement and, push me along. They were the type that was like, no matter what you want to do, just be the best at it. Just be dope. You know what I mean? Just, do it to the fullest. Don't half-ass it and just go for it. So, yeah, even when I was young, yeah, they definitely encouraged me. They encouraged me. Honestly, they had more faith in me than I had in myself. So, when I decided, I want to do this professionally, at first it was kind of rough because, with the whole, you always question yourself. Damn, am I good enough? Should I even be doing this? People been doing this for years and I don't know what I'm doing. So, you kind of doubt yourself, but they're the ones that's like, yo, you crazy? You need to hurry up and do this because you have the talent and go. So, yeah, I've been blessed with some good folks, good family, good people around me. So big them up. Big up my family. Love y'all.
Nice, that's a blessing. Anyone else want to answer that question? Anyone there?
I think that was Snipes. I think they also.
Hey, Laura, we might have missed the question, but we were trying to drill the Afro City.
Yes.
I'll repeat the question. So the question was posed for Tango and Widow Town and David Snipes. So so basically it's all good. So to the artists who started to practice their creative journeys while young, were your folks supportive, and did they have a shift in the journeys and find your way back?
Oh, yeah. I guess I can just answer that real quick. My family was supportive because everybody in my family is an artist, so there's no way you can't support what I'm trying to do when you're an artist. They were really harsh though, because they knew that we all can do it. So whenever we had rehearsals or like any training, there was no mercy. Like, if you don't know, you're gonna get kicked out and you have to come back tomorrow knowing whatever you're supposed to be doing. But it was all love. Even though, like, when I went to school, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna study dance. I'm gonna try to do something else. They were just all looking at me like, you're gonna come back, but go do whatever you want. Because most of the time, African parents are known to be like, what? You're not gonna be a doctor? You're not gonna be a lawyer? You're not gonna be this? But my family was like, you're not gonna be a dancer? You're not gonna study dance? Which was it was beautiful. Yeah. Vicky, do you have an answer?
Yeah, I can say that my mom definitely, she was an influence for me, taking me to those skating rinks, putting me in dance. She was definitely supportive. And then I definitely strayed and tried to do other things and went into drumming and went into sports and all those other things, but ultimately found my way back. And she's still supportive of it to this day. So I'm blessed.
Yeah, that narrative about like Caribbean or African parents, like I love to hear the alternative, right? There are really supportive families in those spaces. I want to see this drawing again because I'm kind of hoping there's like a skating ring in our future?
Well,
yeah,
we ended up, because we don't know how to draw, we ended up just writing the things. What can you see?
we need help, Amber. Amber needs to help us.
But
Wow.
it basically says Planet Bacchanal and everything that we want to see in it. We're gonna post it on the Padlet so you can look at it.
Yes, Padlet.
Cool. Thank you. And thank you, PYE, for always bringing those questions to us. If you have any more from the group, please, let's keep bringing them on. Thank you for keeping us connected with our audience out there. PYE, do you have any vision for a city of the future?
Yes, yes, I do. I see a black future full of people flying using magnets and stuff. So I'm into this magnetic thing. So yeah, where we can have holograms, you know, like where, you know, everybody has an assigned hologram that, you know, can do whatever it needs to do. You have 3 holograms, one that does your day-to-day, one that goes to work, and one does your social life. So that's my black future.
Sounds lit.
I second that.
But
Wow.
that's good.
Wow. We might be coming to the end of this segment, but yeah, I just wanted to pass this question back to Lauren. So throughout this conversation, has anything else come up for you about like what this city like must have or should have?
You know, as we were talking, someone posted about presidential elections here in the United States, and you know, it got me thinking about, someone mentioned leadership and how important, as we're envisioning spaces for Black and Brown and just all people, what leadership looks like. And I think for myself, I'm still kind of thinking that through. You know, it's communal for sure, and it takes wisdom from all areas. You know, all knowledge and wisdom is welcome. And I know that's definitely something that I've been thinking about for like real time, because like Black people will be in the future. We will be there. So what does it look like, right? So that's not a question, it's a reality. So yeah, I like the idea of visioning. What about you?
Yeah, you're actually what you just said like made my brain move towards just the spatial aspect of it. Yeah, I think when we have like different groups working to build a city, or you know, living in close proximity to each other, I think like leadership can sometimes put us against each other. Like with the Fillmore district, and you know, like Japanese American citizens, and you know, Black folk during like World War II and stuff. And you know, I'm like, word, like what does it look like for us, you know, as a diaspora to find a piece of land that like maybe doesn't exist yet or does exist, and build that, you know, like what are these social dynamics? You know, and I think we have some wonderful artists that can like imagine that or help mediate that. But I think that's where my head is going now.
Yeah, and
You're
this entire
absolutely right about that. So sorry, we just have a few questions coming in from the chat. So what have been, I mean, sounds like everybody here has had some very supportive parents. So I'm assuming your artistic journey is different from someone who has no, you know, support from their family. But what have been some challenges you've experienced as an artist? Maybe we can just have anybody or the whole group chime in.
I feel like for me personally, it's been getting ahead of myself and like forgetting to just go back to the basics and think about, you know, what I want to say and like how I want to say it. You know, I feel like especially just when when you have to deal with being a business person, you know what I mean? Like, and making a living, if that's what you want to do with your art, because you don't have to do that, but if that's what you want to do, then there's so many other things that might infiltrate your minds that can distract you. And so it's been just a very like, it's always like a balancing act, and something that like I feel like I'm always like negotiating is sort of just how to stay, like how to pursue the craft and the craft that you love, and like stay true to the fact that you love it and you're doing it for a reason, and like not sort of let like the noise get in the way of that, you know what I mean? Because I think that's how I've like shot myself in the foot before, by kind of like not doing something that because like overthinking something, you know what I mean? Or just not doing something that I should have done because I was too busy thinking about all these ramifications that just ended up muddling the project or distracting from it. So that's like something I definitely like have like always had to negotiate, you know what I mean? And I'm even just now being able to recognize like that's an issue, you know what I mean? And that's kind of why it came up, you know?
I think for me,
Thanks for that. Any of our artists? Magati, yes, please tell us about some of your challenges.
For me, I also support what Mala said, because in some areas or scenes, I find myself that yeah, being self-sabotaging yourself sometimes really takes a toll, because like for me, trying to as a visual artist, in most cases I try and find new ways to create content, and sometimes I think the whole journey of sitting down, researching and reading through a process and how I can be able to execute really gets to a point where it's a task. But again, if I'm trying my best to become better, I really need to learn about it. So in most cases, like that whole idea of maybe you're not going to be better when you're doing it, or yeah, just having those weird demons that come into your mind and telling you that you're not perfect, sometimes get to a point where they ruin what you'd have done, you know, like your final execution. And then the whole idea of maybe when you're getting a project or you're writing down your project proposal and not doing it, and then you find that someone else or had the same idea or that whole journey, and you're stuck there thinking that well, you should have stuck to your guns and done the job, but now you're slacking, and you really need to keep pushing yourself forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Mal and Magadi about, you know, those certain internal conflicts that we have in regard to being an artist and being a creative. But you know, we all have an external conflict that we all share being an artist and a creative. And that external conflict is being paid for doing what we do. Damn it. That is a conflict that's just never ending. I don't know why. I've had it from when I first started being a creative, and even me in my years still having the same issue. People just don't want to pay us. I don't know why. I don't know why. We sitting here, we giving you all type of things that you damn well can't do yourself. That's why you came to us. You want us to bring a certain vibe and energy, right? So we, from the universe, we bring all this type of stuff, we put it together, we manifest it, and we present it. And then they're like, yeah, all right, we're gonna give you exposure. What? Expose your mother. We want money, greens, bills, dividends. That's what we're talking about. You feel me? But yeah, that's one of the conflicts that as an artist I go through, and I'm sure all you artists share as well. And I don't think that's ever gonna end. People always gonna try to play us and think that what we do is easy, so they could just give us some chump change or give us exposure. You know, we need money. It takes hard work. Just because we could do it in 10 seconds, just know that it took years so that we could do this in 10 seconds. You dig?
Tango, has any of that changed? Oh, sorry. Karen, didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
No, I was done.
Tango just spoke to, oh gosh, I thought that was our problem down here. But yeah, exposure. I mean, it's not a hobby. Pay me. That's like the biggest struggle. Convincing people that it's not a hobby, it's my job, it's my full-time job. Come on, pay me. But if I'm performing for 5 minutes, there were preparations behind the scenes and all that. So I think that's been the biggest struggle. And for me, who my parents are not very supportive of what I do. I don't even think they understand what I do many years later. So I think that has also been, I can't even say I'm broke because they'll tell me, hey, find a real job. So I think that's been quite one of my biggest challenges. It's comforting to know that we share this challenge.
It's never ending, my dear, never ending.
Yeah, so yeah, Carolyn, yes, wow. When you said it's not a hobby, it's my job. Yo, I felt the energy on that. I need you to make shirts. I need you to put them on the Padlets. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know we have creatives in our group, and I love that that question came from our audience, and like it resonates definitely with this group here. You know, creative from birth, but also, you know, eating, need that bread. That's awesome. And I want to put back to the audience, I think, because I know that we're going to wrap up soon. If I can just ask the artist here, one word, just describe your journey with Bacchanal d'Afrique. And PYE, if we have any more questions, let's throw them in there as well. But I'd love to hear from our artists too. Just one word to describe the journey that we've all been on and are going through right now with each other, with this festival.
My one word would have to be inspirational.
Mine's not a word. For me, it's broken my tethers.
My word would be expanding.
Mine would be knowledgeable.
Mine would be lifted.
Mine would be evolving.
Mine would be new.
And how about yourself, Snipes?
Okay, we have one more question from the audience, guys. So so brace yourselves. So maybe just one of you guys answer this. So how have any of the following impacted your art in your artistic journey? One, politics in your area, and two, your daily mode of transportation. I'll start with myself. For instance, you know, there was a time I had a band. You know, nobody had a car, so that was an issue. So go for it.
I guess I could say like I mentioned that like I did most of my writing on the train just because, you know, like back when I was in school, like I take the train all the time. And so I guess like that mode of transportation has just sort of become a part of my process in a lot of ways. And I just kind of, I don't know, like I've just always been talking about it. And also because I like to people watch, and I draw inspiration from like fantasizing about people I see. And so you just see so many people like every day on that mode of transportation. And so I guess you could say that's one way like the MTA has impacted my personal practice.
And the subway made it into your piece. Is that,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So hopefully we see some other transportation too. Any other artists want to take that question? Thanks, Mel.
Oh yeah, for me, I think public transport has been good. Has been most of the inspiration that has helped me create most of my work, and because it's a source of inspiration. Because I feel like in most cases, there are new experiences in every time I board a matatu or to get to my destination. because finding different characters in a space really assists me in a daily way to try and recreate content. And I feel like that has been something that I've really talked about in my project, because in most cases, the whole idea of seeing from a different eye is really important, because you can get to understand maybe someone's thought process. And I think that if you're in a position to check out the project, I'd be really, yeah, it could be a source or a form where we can be able to have that conversation on.
Yeah, thank you, Magati, for expanding on that, and thanks, Ma, for like walking us through like where your inspiration was and all that goodness. Yes. So as we come to the end of this artist talk, I want to make it known that this is not the final artist talk, if I'm not mistaken. There might be one more, and please tune into that one so that you can learn more about the other artists of the festival. Again, if there was anything you saw or heard in this artist talk, please post it on the social media pages. We have an Instagram, Afro Urban Society, at Bacchanal.freak. Tweet us, all the goodness. Yeah, and very quickly, can we get the artist's social media information so people can follow you?
Yeah, people. You don't know Tango Leaders. You can follow me on Instagram, Tango Leaders. On Facebook, Tango Leaders. On Twitter, Tango Leaders. You can go up on www.Tango Leaders and you can find me. You go up on YouTube, Tango Leaders. That's it.
Caroline Gorobi, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Jukwa Arts Productions, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. That's where I post most of my work. Yeah, follow me.
You can find me on social media at Mal Sounds, MAL Sounds, pretty much like every social media. And then on any streaming services, Mal the Oddity.
You can find me at Ajakuma everywhere. But on Instagram, it's _Ajakuma _. But yeah, ajakuma.com, Ajakuma on SoundCloud, Spotify, and all of that.
You can find us at Afro Urban Society or Bacchanal Afrique, or you can go to www.afrourbansociety or www.bacchanal.afrique. That's it.
My social media handles on Instagram, it's Magati Maosa, Twitter, Magati _Maosa, and Facebook, Magati Maosa.
Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. And Damani, where can we find you?
You can find me in Oakland, but online, Instagram at Damani Writes. Writes like the verb WRITES. Yeah, what about you, Lauren?
By the pound. I make things. I don't sell things. By the LB. No, wait, I sell things too. As we were talking about. But it was so good to be with all of you artists. So good to be with you, Damani. I love this conversation. I'm looking forward that one that you mentioned, that's the final artist talk, is on November 25th. So please support those artists there. Yeah, it's been a great conversation and gotten some good ideas. That hologram of the three of ourselves, I'm taking that.
Yes. But yeah, I second everything Lauren said. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, y'all.
Hey, before we go, you know what I mean? I just want to big up you guys. You know what I mean? Big up Damani, big up Lauren, big up everybody behind the scenes, big up the artists, big up all of the people in the chat that came through, you know what I'm saying? Type y'all questions. Make sure you guys go and see all the art that we talking about. Everybody got fly stuff. Everybody got dope stuff. Make sure you stay connected, bacchanaltheafrique.com, and make sure you see everything. Nobody with the one pass thing. Get the all access and see everything. Tango leader says so. All right then.
All right, that's vibes. That's it. Thank you all. Bye.